Okay, so in this workshop, you guys by the end of this will be able to set up your Google vehicle ads in 2024. And so this is going to be relevant for this time. Even if you don't have any experience, even if you don't know what you're doing, even if you don't have any tech experience, right? I'm going to show you guys how to do this. If you can log into the internet and send out an email, you can definitely do this. Trust me. Some of the things that's going to be covered, number one, is why do you need to be using Google VLA? If you're a car dealership right now, we're going to go over this. We're going to break this down, why it's important that you guys should be using Google VLA and why it's the most effective way to actually get in front of in-market shoppers. Then right after that, we're going to go into a bird's eye view, the 10,000 foot view overview of how to set up, how we're going to be setting up Google VLA. And then we're going to go over pretty much a breakdown of what the execution things we need to do to actually make this happen. So we will be setting some targets at the end of the module. These are very easy targets. They're not going to be long-winded, but these targets will ensure that you actually get this done. So why you should be using Google VLA. This is probably one of the most effective ways to get in front of in-market shoppers. And here's why. Whenever someone comes over to Google, they are predetermined in their mind that they're going to make a decision. And so essentially, someone comes into Google, they type in 2020 Honda Accord Sport. If you're signed up for the vehicle ads and you guys are running ads and running your listings, your vehicle, if you have that vehicle, will show up right here in this section. And then from here, they'll choose the mileage and the year and the price and the color that they're most interested in. Click through and they'll come right over to your website. This is probably one of the most effective ways to get in front of in-market shoppers because of the way you're getting in front of them versus everywhere else, especially social media. For an example, social media only allows you to target people via interest-based. So do they show any type of interest in the Chevrolet Camaro? That could be an old school Chevrolet Camaro. That could be a 2024 Camaro. That could be a 2022. There's no boundaries on that. And if they do, put them in this bucket and then we'll put our ads in front of them. And so it doesn't really take a rocket scientist to really understand that that's probably not the best strategy, right? That's not the most effective way to get in front of in-market shoppers. You're going to spend some money reaching people who are in the market, and then trying to find the in-market people will be like a needle in a haystack, as opposed to just going straight over here to Google and listing your vehicles up that way. So that's why Google Vehicle Ads is a must. That's why you must be doing this. You need to be driving traffic from people who are actually shopping, who are in the market, and they're actually trying to do something. So after that, what we're also going to cover is why Google pretty much is the only platform that will allow you to list your vehicles while at the same time that prospect is trying to get research around that vehicle. An example of that would be, I'm in the market for a Chevrolet Camaro. I want to see the difference between a 2LT and a 2SS. What's the differences? When I type in 2LT Chevrolet Camaro 2023 versus 2SS, your listing, if you have an SS, if you have an LT, will still show up at the top, which other platforms won't allow you to do that. So like Car Gurus, it can't happen, right? Whenever someone is on Car Gurus, they're looking for a very specific car. They want to see what the price is. They want to see how many mileage is on the car. But then when they want to get information, they go off of that and they go where? They load up the internet and they go to Google, right? So your listing will still be able to follow these people during the research process. That gets your name out there, that gets your brand out there, and that also gets your vehicle out there. So we're going to cover that as well. And then also, Google doesn't have any contracts. So when you want to stop spending money on the platform, there isn't a 30-day clause. When you want to expand your radius, you want to go from a 25-mile radius maybe to a statewide radius, it doesn't cost more. So Google is more of a deflationary tool. You're going to get more results than you would out of the other third-party vendors, and you're going to pay a lot less to do it. You have control of your budget. You can turn it on, turn it off at will, however you want to take care of that. So let's jump right into it. So the bird's eye view of setting up the system. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a Google Merchant Center account. Once we got that set up, we're going to set up a vehicle feed. Once we have your vehicle feed set up, we're going to go in and we're going to create the actual vehicle ad campaign. And this is going to be done inside of Google Ads. And then at the very end, we're going to suffocate your market. You're going to understand why that's important. Suffocating your market at the end is extremely important. So if you think about it, you guys are bringing traffic, very high quality traffic, over to your landing page. People are going to convert, and then the rest of those people probably will not convert. More than likely, they won't convert, right? What are you doing after that? Are we following up with those people? So suffocating the market is extremely important. We'll go into that and we'll understand why it's important and how it works. There is a form that you have to fill out to get the vehicle ads program. We're going to go over that. Then we're going to go over connecting your Google business profile inside of Google Merchant Center, and then we're going to upload a feed for approval. When it comes to setting up your vehicle feed, we're going to gain access to my already pre-built vehicle feed template. It's going to save you a ton of hours, save you a ton of time. And this is where you're going to take your inventory and it's going to be listed on a Google Sheet. And it has to be done in a very specific way so that Google Merchant Center can pick it up. Once Google Merchant Center can pick it up, it would actually broadcast it to Google Ads. Google Ads will actually do all of the work to actually get your listing in front of the people who are typing in your cars. I know that sounded very long-winded, but trust me, it'll make sense. So we're going to review some dummy data right after you get access to that. I do have dummy data in there. So to make sure and to ensure that you don't get your vehicles disapproved and you get them added to the Google Sheet correctly, I left dummy data in there for you to go off of. Then you're going to add your inventory and then we're going to push them to your ads. So whenever we're creating a vehicle ad campaign inside of Google Ads, obviously we need a Google Ads account. So you're going to sign in. If you don't already have one, create one. We're going to set up and we're going to go over setting up your Google Ads tracking. We're going to also create a Google Ads and start your vehicle ads campaign. And so that's going to get everything running for you. You're going to be going live. After that, we're going to discuss why market suffocation. Why is that important? Why you should be suffocating your market. We're going to go into that. And then we're going to go into setting up your pixels on your website. And then you're going to be completely 100% live when it comes to sending high quality traffic over to your site and then also following up with that traffic. So again, what you'll be learning in this training in this section is, again, how to set up your Google Merchant Center account, how to get accepted into the vehicle ads program, how to create your vehicle feed so your vehicles are listed, how to get them approved, how to set up your Google Ads account, how to create your vehicle ads campaign, and then how to effectively follow up with everyone who shows interest in your inventory. So here are some of the targets that I'm going to place for you guys. And these are very simple. Most of these are extremely easy targets, like setting up a Google Merchant Center account that takes no more than 2 minutes, gaining access to the vehicle ads program that literally takes 30, 40 seconds, creating a vehicle feed for your inventory. That takes no more than a minute. Loading your vehicles up, that may take a little longer, anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how many vehicles you have on the ground. And then passing the manual review, setting up your Google Ads account, that takes no more than 2 to 5 minutes. And then setting up conversion tracking, creating your Google Vehicle Ads campaign, that takes 5 minutes. And then going live. So these are, I know they seem like a lot of targets, but these are extremely easy. They do not take a lot of time. And so by the end of this workshop training, I want you guys to have that done. So let's get into setting up your Google Merchant Center account. So here's what we're going to cover. Again, we're going to set up your vehicle ad sign up form. We're going to get that completed, by the way. Then we're going to complete your business information profile. We're going to verify your domain. We're going to create a feed in Google Merchant Center. And then we're going to connect that feed to the Google Sheet that houses your inventory. And then we're going to set a schedule for Google Merchant Center to go to your Google Sheet automatically using AI. And it will pull all the vehicles that you have and update it. And it'll do that on a 24-hour basis. So all you have to do is make sure your sheet is updated. And then it will actually pull and kick over your vehicles to Google Ads automatically for you. So the first thing I want you guys to do is you're going to go into Google. You're going to type in vehicle ads, onboarding, contact us form. You have to do this to get access to vehicle ads. It is a program inside of Google Merchant Center. So when you log into Google Merchant Center, you will notice that you will not have vehicle ads and you can't create any feeds because you don't have it. And so to get access to that, you just have to fill out this form. And so when you do that inside of Google, you're going to see something like this, fill it out. It literally takes you like 30 seconds. And then once you get that filled out, you're going to go inside of Google Merchant Center. You're going to complete your business profile information. It's going to look somewhat similar to this. Adding your business detail is very simple. Verifying, claiming your website. There's 3 different ways to do that. You don't even have to set up shipping or sales tax because you're not going to be classified as an e-commerce business. Then you're going to link your Google Ads account and we're going to set up the campaigns and everything like that. So now really quickly, I know a lot of this information that I just went over, you may need, it may benefit some of you guys to actually see me do it and see it from the point of my shoulder and me actually walking you through it, like verifying and claiming your website as an example. That's probably going to be 1 of 3 ways that you do it. Number 1, it could be through Google Tag Manager. Number 2, Google Analytics, Google Universal. And then number 3, an HTML code, right? And so it's going to give you that option to select which one you want to use. Now, you may not necessarily know how to do that. So for the ones who feel as if they may benefit from me actually showing you how we do this, because obviously we can't do it in this video. It would take way too long to go over every single detail. And so for the purpose of this, it's not appropriate. But if you are wanting that hands-on look, we actually have an advanced training somewhere in the description or in a chat, wherever you're viewing this. You'll be able to click on a link, and it's going to give you access to our advanced training where we actually go over this and walk you through this step by step for the people who feel like you will benefit by doing it. But everyone else, I'm literally just giving you pretty much the roadmap into the things that need to be done, and so that you can go out there and figure it out yourself. It's not really difficult. But for everyone else who feels like they will benefit from actually seeing it over my shoulder, then again, go to the description in the chat. There's a link. Go there. We have our advanced training. So creating a feed in your Google Merchant Center, this is what it's going to look like essentially. Whenever you're creating that feed, it's going to ask you for a feed name. Just go ahead and put your dealership. The input method is going to be a Google Sheet, right? It's going to ask you to select from a different method or a couple different methods. Select Google Sheets. And then you're going to select destination as vehicle ads, which you should have access to vehicle ads once you complete your sign-on form. It takes about 24 hours. They send you an email and then you get access. After that, we're going to set our fetch schedule to 24 hours. So essentially what this is going to do, you're going to update your vehicles on your Google Sheet, and then Google Merchant Center is going to come to your Google Sheet, and Google Merchant Center every 24 hours is going to pull from your Google Sheet. And when it pulls from your Google Sheet, it will automatically upload those vehicles, prices, and information to Google Ads automatically. So when people are seeing your vehicles, they're seeing the accurate inventory in real time. So now we're going to go over setting up your vehicle feed. So you're going to gain access to the vehicle feed template that I've already created for you. We're going to review the dummy data so that you know how to add your vehicles, and then you're going to add them, of course. And then that is going to push your vehicles over to your ads. So gaining access to the vehicle feed template, listen, if you guys don't do it, you're going to spend hours and hours, or you're going to leave it up to Google to give you these pretty much developer instructions on how to set everything up inside of your Google Sheet, right? I've already got a template, already made it. You don't even have to worry about it. This is how it's going to look when you get it. You're not going to see as many vehicles as you see here, but you're going to see that we have one section or one row for the dummy line. And that dummy line is going to have all the dummy information that you can just copy off of. And this is just a reference. And this is what you need to have and how it should be set up. If you don't do this right, you're going to screw everything up. And then it's going to take you 3 to 5 days to get a manual review. They're going to disapprove you, and then you're going to try to fix something. And it's going to take another 5 days, and then they're going to disapprove you again. Next thing you know, this thing is running 60 days strong, and we don't have anything done. So trust me on this. Somewhere in the description or in the link or in the chat, there's going to be a link to get access to the vehicle feed template. Get access to it. That way you can log in and put your vehicles on there and save yourself a ton of time. So after you have that set up, this is where you can now begin to run your Google ad campaign, which is the vehicle ad campaign. So if you don't already have a Google Ads account, go ahead and set one up. And then we're going to go over setting up conversion tracking for Google Ads AI. The reason why that's important is because if you want to measure how well your ads are running, you have to have that set up. So it's a piece of code that you put on the back end of your website or back end of the dealership's website. And so that when you send traffic from Google, Google can see what that traffic's doing on the site. If they convert, then it will then report that inside of your campaign dashboard, and you can see where you can put more money into the scale up. Hey, this over here is not working as much. You'll be able to see all this information and get access to that. So you have to set up that. And then we can actually pretty much create the vehicle ads campaign and make it go live. So setting up your Google Ads campaign or Google Ads account. First things first, go set up an account if you don't already have one. Ads.google, click on start now, takes 5 minutes. You'll be into your account. Once you're in your account, we're going to set up conversion tracking. So inside of your account, you'll be able to get the conversion pixel that you need. Now, a pixel is just a piece of code that you take and you put on your website, and this will allow Google to see what is going on. This will allow Google to report back to you what turned into conversions, what did not turn into conversions, so you can make adjustments. You want to do this in a very simple way, so that's going to make it easier on you. What you want to do is you want to go to tagmanager.google.com. Tag Manager is like an intermediary digital footprint that's going to be in between you, your pixel, right, your code, and the website. And so essentially, the reason why you want to use Google Tag Manager, if you're not already familiar with Google Tag Manager, is because you can take your codes and so let's just say you have a Facebook pixel. You want to take that code, you want to put it on your website, you got to contact your web developer, then they put it on the website. Then you got a Google Analytics or a Google Universal or a GA4, whatever you want to call it, code. And then you send it over to the web developer, and then you got to wait a couple of days, and then they put it on the website. After you do this 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, what you'll notice is you have this long list of code on your website, and it's slowing down your website. Google Tag Manager will generate one small code. You put that on the website, and then now you can take your pixels and your codes and you can put it inside of Google Tag Manager. And when you do that, it'll update on the website automatically. And you do not have to get a hold of your web developer. And it's in real time, it's fast. And because it's one piece of code on the website, it does not slow down your website, which is crucial. So essentially, what you want to do is you want to get your Google Ads conversion tracking code and out of Google Ads. And then you want to place that inside of Google Tag Manager. And then once you place that inside of Google Tag Manager, you want to give your Google Tag Manager code to your web developer, and then place that on your website. Now, again, I'm not going to go into each and every visual step, like how to set it up, how to do this, how to do that, because we'll be on here for hours. If you are interested and you feel as if you will benefit from seeing this done step by step on how to set up this inside of your Google Tag Manager, how should it be done, how should it be facilitated, then again, there's going to be a link somewhere in the chat or in the description where you can actually click on that and get access to the advanced training. And then that'll give you more of a breakdown. And that's more appropriate for something like that. It's not appropriate for a video like this. So now, once you have that set up, you can now set up your vehicle ads campaign. So you'll log into Google Ads if you don't already have one. If you do have one, log in, go to create campaign. It's going to ask you to select your objective. Click on create a campaign without goals guidance. Once you do that, then you're going to see another selection at the bottom show up. Click on Performance Max. Now that's going to give you access to your vehicle feed from Google Merchant Center that you set up. And that feed has access to that Google Sheet that has your inventory. And that's how it's going to place those vehicles in front of people. And so once you have that done, then you just click on the submit button inside the Google campaign right after this. And then it takes 24 hours and now you have your ads live. So what I want everyone to think about is what you're doing after that. So one of the main things that I see a lot of businesses or a lot of dealers that I encounter, one of the biggest ways that money is being spent more of in a wasteful manner is when they send traffic over to their website, and the traffic that converts, great, but the traffic that doesn't convert, they don't do anything about it. There's no mechanism to follow up with that. And we all know the statistics, right? So if we think about it, 2% of the market is buying right now. 2% of the in-market shoppers, they're going to make a decision now, tomorrow, whether they're going to do it with you or with someone else. There's always going to be 2% of the market making a decision, right? So if you think about it, you have 100 visitors come over to your website. 50 of those visitors are never, for whatever reason, they're never going to buy a car, right? Whether they get too old, whatever may happen, they never will buy a car. You're left with 50. If we know 80% of your sales is going to come between the 5th and beyond contact point, then from there, we know for every one visitor out of the 50 that we know are going to do something that makes a purchase right away, we know we got another 40 in the pipeline. And so that's why it's important that we should be suffocating our market. We're going to send high quality in-market traffic over to our website. You're going to have 2% of those people convert as a lead. But then for every 2 people or every 1 person that converts as a lead, you have another 40 that's in the pipeline that may do something 2 weeks from now. They may do something from a month from now, 3 months from now, right? And so my model, or the way I look at everything, is you follow up with your 80% until they become the 2%, because at some point in time, they will become the 2%. Right now, they're 80%. They may not be looking to do something until another 6 months from now. But in 6 months from now, they're going to become the 2% someday. So follow up with the 80% until they become the 2%. And that's what market suffocation does. And that's how you could fill up your pipeline and have deals falling out of woodworks for you. And this is how you actually add units. And this is how you properly invest in your dealership year over year. Again, we covered why it's important. We're going to go over what pixels and what cookies are. And then we're going to go over how to effectively use the internet to stay top of mind. So this is an example of a pixel. So you're inside of Facebook. If you go into the platform, every advertising platform is going to have some form of a pixel, some form of a code. And that code you will put on your website. In this instance, we put it inside of Google Tag Manager. And so let's say, for an example, Facebook, now all of that high quality traffic that we send over to your website, the 80% that's not converting, but we know will become the 2% at some point in time, we will drop a cookie in their pocket. And then for Facebook, we can now follow up with them on Facebook, right? If you want to do YouTube follow up, right, then you have the Google Pixel. At the same time, if you're running Facebook ads and doing follow up, by having the Facebook pixel on the website and putting a cookie in their pocket, they can also give you reporting on, hey, this person came from Google, and then you've been following up with them on Facebook for 3 months, and then they eventually turned into a lead. So you're able to track all that information, and you can say, and then out of those people who turned into leads, they eventually turned into a purchase. So you can do an offline conversion. When you increase your touch points and you're touching these people 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day, and you're extremely frequent, let's just say in 2 months from now, they become hot, they're ready to roll, they now become the 2%. The only dealership they can think of is you guys. And so that's why it's important to increase your touch points. And so that concludes this workshop training. Hopefully you guys found some value from that. Again, there's a lot of resources in the description and the chat that's going to help you really navigate through this. But for the purpose of this video, I didn't want to make it too long. Take care.